Hey everybody, OTS Chris here from the OTS squad, and this is how to play Frost guide. These are going to be some of my Frost chart placements and also what I think of how people should play Frost. Now Frost is a different type of character from a JTF2 CTU unit. Now her welcome mat is the MK2 LHT. It is a bear trap that incapacitates enemies, and it is mechanical so it cannot be detected by IQ. Now, Frost is going to be a whole entirely different type of character from your normal type of operators. She is not meant to be a kill type operator, but more of a slow down operator. Now, her name is Tina Ling Sang, aka Frost, and she was born in Vancouver. So she is a 2-2 operator, which is going to give her decent speed with decent armor. So you're going to be able to maneuver with her a little bit better. Now let's get into her weapons. This right here is the Super 90. I usually am not a big fan of a shotgun. It is a 12 gauge semi-automatic, but I more likely use the 9mm C1. This is also a shorter damage than the 9mm C1, a lesser fire rate, and a lesser capacity, but you do get a higher amount of spread. So you might want to use this if you're looking to kill multiple enemies that are funneled, but otherwise I like to use the 9mm C1. Now, this is a submachine gun and is good at anywhere from close to medium range. It has a slower rate of fire but a medium stopping power. Now, this is a good classic gun and it is very accurate. So burst fires would usually go well. Now this does have a recoil that goes up and to the left, but it is easy compensatable by pulling to the right just a slight bit and even pulling down, so you can definitely keep a very nice tight knit group of what you have in there. So I want to get into some of my attachments that I usually do. So I usually like to have the reflex sight because I know exactly where my bullets are going to go. They're going to go exactly to the top of the triangle, the very tippy top. I usually like to use the long barrel over the suppressor. The suppressor does give you a little bit more of an advantage if you like to sneak around and roam with Frost, but it does give you less damage. The longer barrel gives you full damage over a longer distance of time, which offers you the option in terms of positioning and taking down your own opponents, especially if you're having those frost traps and you're trying to stay close to them but you don't want to be too close. You can still take them out at a nice distance, but I'm not gonna fret. The suppressor does do work, so you can use that. I always use the angle grip on mine. I cannot go without an angled grip. This also allows you to pull up very fast and be able to take down your targets, especially after you're running for a very long time. So the transition between your hip fire and your ADS is amazing. Now, when it comes down to a laser sight on the gun, I usually don't like to use laser sights on mine because professional players know where laser sights are. Laser sights show up everywhere, and I don't want to use a laser sight on any of my guns unless I'm playing as a shield or playing with a shotgun, because if they think they can come around the corner and I have a shotgun with that laser sight, it is over for them. So I usually like to keep the laser sights for the shields or the shotguns. So that is really what it is. Now, you can get into your decals and your emblems later. I'm not really too much on those, but I usually like to use the creeper. I gotta have something with me because I usually like to creep with the frost traps. Now, going on to the deployable shield and the barbed wire. The deployable shield is good to have. You can put a frost trap behind it, but keep in mind a lot of people are seeing that because it's been a strat since Frost came out. So me, I don't really like to use the deployable shield too much. I more prefer the barbed wire. Now the barbed wire does slow down a lot of enemies and it is going to be highly useful. Now a lot of people like to hide a frost trap inside of barbed wire, but that's not something that I want to do. See, I usually hide the frost trap away from barbed wire because barbed wire is more than likely to get blown up by either ash or a grenade, and you're not always going to have a Jaeger to be able to protect you from those. So more than likely people are going to slow down and look and find those frost traps inside that barbed wire. See, I keep over a 1.0 KD, a 1.5 KD actually, with Frost, and that's because I play with her a certain way. I don't use Frost more of a killing operator. I use her more as a backup to make sure people do not come into the room as fast, to slow them down. I usually place my frost traps away from the room to make sure that people have to look out which room they're coming into. And you'll see a lot of frost players try to place them closer to the room to make sure they can get those people, and that's when frost becomes crucial, because if you start planting frost traps near the room, more than likely the people are going to see it early in the round as opposed to later in the round. And she's sort of just like a Capcan character. Capcan really can't make a big effect until later on in the round, and that's how you want to play Frost.
I would have
Here
left.
we are on Bartlett University in the classroom. So I usually like to run away from the objective because a lot of people like to enter in way away from the objective to make sure they can catch any roamers and also get into the building safely. So right over here in Trophy, I usually like to place 2 frost traps underneath this window because especially a lot of people
I
don't
got the
think that you're
shotgun.
going to be this close or this far away from the objective. So they're going to try to enter in through the window. I usually try to put one underneath this hatch because a lot of people like to drop that hatch as well. So the reason why I did a double frost trap on the window is because when one person jumps in, they're going to get trapped. They're not going to be expecting it. So somebody else is going to jump in or either try to bait them, and they're going to wait thinking somebody's going to come up those staircases and they're going to get shot. So then I try to figure out where they are. And this is why I tried to spawn kill, and they almost got me right there. So I had to back away. I knew they were back alley, so I knew they would be coming through Trophy eventually. So I usually like to rotate around and stay close to my frost traps to make sure that I can get those crucial kills on those crucial characters. So we just identified Thermite. Thermite is considered a crucial character because if we can't get them to reinforce, if we can't get them to blow open those reinforcements, those will be better for us in the end because they have to come through those doors. Now, I rotate back around the kitchen just to make sure nobody came through one of those windows and tried to come through kitchen. So I'm waiting for one of my teammates to give me any type of call outs of where they could be. And this is where I usually just wait here, waiting for them. So
something under the hatch for him. Let him drop.
right there, you just heard me say, let them drop. My teammate yelled out that they blew open the hatch, and I know I got a frost trap underneath that hatch. So I'm waiting for them to go ahead and drop down there.
The other 2 are underneath the window and Trophy.
So I explained to them where I put my frost traps, just in case if I can't get to those frost traps, they can always hit them. So I just got an injury in the trophy room, and I knew it was in the trophy room because my teammate just got killed up there. So this is me trying to rotate around back to that frost trap. Now I haven't gotten the second injury yet, so I know that my second frost trap is still there. So instead of going all the way up the stairs where I know there's a line of sight on the window, I usually try to vault underneath this staircase so they can't get a clean shot on me. And there's the second injury. So here's where I start to try to push, and that's when I catch all 3 of them slipping and get 3 clean kills. Here we are on Bank, an open area, and this is how I usually like to play Frost. I put 2 Frost traps in front of this window because, like I said, not a lot of people expect it. Now, Frost is not more of a killing operator like I said before, but she's more of a slow down operator. And even if nobody gets caught by those bear traps, they're going to be so adamant about jumping through that window. So right here you see that the time clock says 4 minutes, and I'm going to show you how much time these guys actually waste. So instead of going straight to the objective, they try to rotate around and come from a different angle. So I want to make sure I can cut off that angle. So I'm now in this corner, but I know my frost traps are running underneath that window, and I could still get that kill if somebody jumped through that window and I still have a clean shot on them. So now here's where I hear Fuse coming in, and I still kill him because he's not expecting me to be in that corner. So I'm still waiting and waiting to see if somebody's gonna come through this window, come inside, and make a big play in a big motion. So I'm gonna still hear out and wait for any type of sounds of what I can hear. So right there you can hear Glass throwing out smoke grenades to make sure he can get inside the building. But I know I keep hearing somebody on my left hand side. So I keep looking left, I keep looking left, I keep looking left, and now you see that they're in the room. It took them 2 minutes and 12 seconds to get inside the room, which is really crucial in ranked. So I went ahead and take out Bug, and now it's a 3v1. I shot him through the wall, and that was the end of the match. And that is how you play Frost. It's more to let your team kill the attackers without them getting into the room so quickly. Here we are on Coastline, and usually I'm the one to preach staying close to your frost traps, but in this instance we have a Kavera who can get those interrogations if anybody gets caught in those frost traps. And usually since Kavera is active, a lot of people are going to try to go after her first, so right now I am considered a non-factor. So my job is to make sure I can kill anybody that is trying to get close to Kavera and find out where she is. So I'm mainly going to use my headsets to sit here and get anybody. Right here you see that I did a burst fire, and I usually like to try to keep on a burst fire as much as possible. So somebody tagged that person, and I went ahead and knocked a hole into the wall and waited for them to come. Now, with this, you want to do either suppression fire or try to hit somebody. I knew it was glass, so I just went ahead and did the suppressive fire to make him peek and try to stay right there as much as I wanted him to. And then I would rotate around and try to get him off guard. Now, with Frost, her recoil does go up and to the left, so you want to compensate to the right, causing you to have that tight-knit group just like that. So right now I see that Kavera was on the staircase, and I rotated around to the lobby where I encounter Buck. Now I keep a tight-knit group and keep my compensated recoil down to a minimum and slapped him right in the face. Now Habana ran into my frost trap at the top of the stairs, which a lot of people still don't understand why they're there, but it still works. And that is how you do Frost.
Hey, y'all are lit. Leapfrog. Y'all niggas playing leapfrog. Oh my god, I'm saying.